our special guest for today, mga Cervantinians, is one of the most respected and well-loved personalities in the entertainment industry. She started out as an actress in her first film, which garnered her an Asia's Best Actress Award. This was Itim in 1976. Diba?
Wow.
So she went on to star in several films, eventually moving behind the scenes as a producer, as line producer to great classics like Himala, Oro Plata Mata, Kapag Langit ang Humatol, etc. She's credited as one of the people responsible for the rise of ABS-CBN to being the #1 network. And of course, na nakilala siya globally ng ABS. So under her leadership, she launched the careers of our biggest stars like Piolo, John Lloyd, Bea, Katniel, etc. She's also the person who created the Kapamilya spirit, which lives on in every Filipino household.
Yes.
Yung credit na yan talaga masasabi ko personally, mapupunta yan kay CSC. So mga kaibigan, mga listeners, mga FB, mga sumusunod sa FB Live, we are so honored to have with us the past president of ABS-CBN and one of my mentors na malaking-malaki ang utang na loob ko, really. I will always be grateful for and to Miss Charo Santos Concho. Welcome.
Woo!
Yay! Thank you very much, Ronnie. That's a heartwarming welcome.
Maraming salamat po.
Tablaaw na Naimbag nga bigat? Tama ba? Bigat?
Wow.
Kumusta kayong
Thank you.
lahat?
Mabuti naman
Mabuti
masarap
po.
ang buhay probinsya, CSC.
Ay, ang
Yes.
sarap.
Thank you so much, Miss Charo, thank you so much for making time for us. We know you have a very, very busy schedule, but amidst your busy schedule, you're here with us, and you're here with us to share your insights, especially to our listeners in Radyo Kabinnadang. So, have you been to Ilocos Sur, Miss Charo?
Of course. Oo. The first time I visited Ilocos, the Ilocos region, diba? It was Ilocos Norte. Ilocos Norte was when I was Barron Travel Girl. That was in 1976. My friend brought me to Pagudbud. I remember, oh my God, I remember tumatakbo ako dun sa beach. Tumatakbo ako sa white sand. You know, I mean, it was pristine and oh, di ba puno pa, very lush, ang ganda-ganda, wala pang mga bahay, wala pang mga talagang dagat na dagat, crystal clear waters. And so Pagudpod, that was the first time in 1976. And then the second time was when we filmed Himala in the sand dunes of Paway, Ilocos.
Okay,
Yes.
Paway.
Oh, beautiful there. Yes.
So, yun, and I love Ilocano food. Diyos ko, gusto ko yung vegan longganisa, gusto ko yung bagnet, of course.
Empanada.
The vegan empanada. Hi, ang sarap-sarap. And then the people are very simple, very, very, very simple, very welcoming, very welcoming. I think, I see them as very hardworking people also, the Ilocanos. Mga simpleng tao,
Yes.
mababa ang loob, magalang, at saka yung parang sanay sa batak ng katawan, sanay sa hirap, hindi tumatakbo sa trabaho.
Okay.
And very resilient, very humble, very hardworking.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. We actually witnessed that in the past months. And for me, in the past 2 years, I've been living in Cervantes. I've seen how Ilocanos are, and there's so much to learn from them as well.
Yeah.
And Miss Charo, have you filmed, did you have any films or TV series in Ilocos, in this region?
Naku, Rory, madami, di ba? ABS.
Oh, madami, yeah. Baka you can share lang one of your favorite
Marami.
memories. Yeah. Baka you can share just an anecdote or one of any memory films.
Nung nasa ABS na tayo, hindi na ako nakakapunta sa location. So talagang ang naaalala ko, my own personal recollection was the filming of Himala. When we shot, I don't know if you remember that iconic scene in Himala where Nora Honor was saying walang Himala. I mean, there were 3,000 extras in the crowd, and then
Oh,
di ba
yeah.
nagkabarilan, and then there was a anong tawag dito? Hindi ko naman masasabing kind of a stampede, no? So yeah, we were all there during the filming. Everything went very well. We got the extras. The townspeople came as extras, and they were very, very cooperative. Wala akong masasabi. Ang babait nila. They knew how to follow instructions. At saka, that scene became iconic because their express, this is real. They were real people, di ba? Parang galing sila talaga sa community, the Kupang community, the fictional Kupang community that was created in the iconic film Himala.
Ito ba yung may sumigaw siya na walang himala? Ito ba yun?
Oo.
Ito yun, di ba?
Very
sikat yun. Naalala ko yan. Parati yan ginagamit sa mga pagka merong reenactment of certain movies, sikat na sikat yan.
Yes.
Yan scene na yan. I remember that.
So CSC, as host of MMK for 3 decades already, how did the show change you as a person, and what are the greatest lessons that you have learned?
When you're younger kasi, you have, di ba, yung parang, there's, maliit pa ang mundo mo, and there's a tendency to look at life and look at the world from a very, very narrow perspective. But because of Maalaala Mo Kaya, I got to know more about how should I call it? About humanity. Yeah, parang hindi pala, it's not all about us. I mean, there's a bigger world out there. We cannot use our own world and our own experience as the only barometer for what is good and what is sublime. It exposed me to so many different kinds of stories that I think I learned to develop my sense of empathy and compassion towards people.
Wow.
I became less judgmental. My sensing of what a person is going through, even the first time I meet that person, was sharpened. Yung naging sensitive na ako sa dinadaanan ng tao. Naging sensitive na ako sa mga nuances, facial expressions, behavior, konting yung mga expressions nila. And much, much more so, I learned to dig in deeper into the essence of each one. Diba? Parang, I look at a person and see this unique. This is the only person. This is Rory, and there's only one Rory Quintos in the entire world. And this Rory Quintos is special. And her story is her story, which I will give utmost respect to her story. So that's how, parang, yun ang nadala talaga sa akin ng MMK. Pag tumitingin ako sa tao, they're not just faces in a crowd, they're not just workers, they're not just fans, they're not just the audience. I see each and every individual as a unique, special child of God.
Wow.
Yeah, di ba? Parang,
wow, very nice, very nice.
Tsaka nawawala yung judgment mo talaga, nawawala yung biases mo. You always give the person the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
That, her journey of pain and suffering, of fear, of insecurity, everything, there's always a reason behind it. And you only get to understand the person if you get to understand and discover the reasons behind, di ba, what they show. Kasi we all have 3 personas.
Yes.
The face we show the world, the face that we only know, and the face that we don't know. Di ba?
Katulad nga nung sabi ho rin nila, di ba? Sabi rin ho nila, di ba, don't judge a book by its cover. Kasi there's way more beyond that facade, that cover. So
Yeah.
yes, that's
Coming
very it's a
later.
very nice insight, Miss Charo. Yes, that's nice.
CSC, for the sake of our listeners, can you please explain, like, give a little more about the face that we don't know?
Oh, because you know, we grow up in our own environment, di ba? We have the collective unconscious with us. We are born with that. I mean, this is coming from my studies of Jungian psychology, which is depth psychology, and he is explaining. He's saying that we all have our DNA coming from ay naku kanununuan natin, yung pinanggalingan natin, nasa DNA na natin yan. And we don't know this. We don't know this. And as we go through life, that's when we uncover na, bakit ba ang tendency ko magalit? Bakit ba ito ang mga triggers ko? Yung parang, di ba, if we are mindful, we learn to discover our patterns. And seeing our patterns, then we will understand, oh, I think this is part of my heritage. This is part of the DNA of the family I belong to. So that's one side of the story. The other side of the story is the environment we grow up in. Diba? Our parents, the emotional and mental environment that we grow up in. Kasama din yan. And pag bata pa tayo, hindi natin alam yan eh. We are unaware. That's why we all want to go, we hope to go through life discovering that art of mindfulness. We want to be self-aware. We want to be more self-aware because there are wounds, fears, emotions that we try to repress, not because we want to repress it, but because we don't know any better. And that's what we want to uncover, di ba? Yung hindi natin alam yun eh. We all have our shadow. There is a duality in each one of us. Meron tayong tinatago. Not because tinatago natin consciously. It's just that we don't know. That's part of the human psyche. That is part of the human psyche.
Sabi
Very
nga ho
beautiful.
ni...
That's so deep.
Yes.
Ganda. I'm sure ang dami natutunan yung mga listeners natin, yung mga nanonood sa FB Live.
Yes.
You have always had such wisdom, CS.
Yes.
Always.
Just
since.
to comment on that, Miss
Yeah.
Charo, sabi nga ni Socrates, know thyself.
Yes.
That's why it's very, very important. That's a very basic to know thyself. And to reach the path to self-mastery, you should have self-realization plus self-actualization to achieve
Pero
self-mastery.
di ba, Leslie, it's very easy to utter the statement, no way.
Yes.
It's difficult. It's a difficult journey and it is a painful journey.
It is.
It is.
It is a painful journey because if you really want to be honest with yourself and face your truths,
yes,
that's beautiful.
Kailangan masaktan ka.
Yeah.
yes.
That's like,
Diba?
Yeah, totoo yan.
Can't be your weaknesses. You just have to accept. I am this. I think I am this person.
Yes.
Diba? And sometimes when we're young and our ego is not yet healthy, when our ego is not yet, diba? It's really the ego that does this knee-jerk. Of course not. No, of course not. Of course not. Hindi ako mayabang. Hindi ako sensitive. Hindi ako lahat. All of the above. But really, the more defensive we are about our weaknesses, I think, parang I think that's the turning point for us to look at our own reflection.
Yes.
Very nice.
Very
nice.
Si ego, hindi pa patalo si ego.
Thank you.
But eventually, we need to,
Thank you for that.
True. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, moving on. Yung here in Cervantes, the number one issue is teen pregnancy. So, what advice can you give our youth para to avoid this happening to them?
Naku, yung context kasi ng teenage pregnancy, of course, we understand that, of teenage pregnancies come from, low-income families, and then, they may not have parental supervision or adult supervision man lang because, you know, we have to recognize the current realities that a lot of parents go abroad to make a living, di ba? So I think adult supervision is really important. Pero paano ko ba sasabihin yung mahalin mo sarili mo, di ba? So, a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old who may not be empowered, who may not have, may inosente ka pa niyan eh. Hindi mo pa alam ang ways of the world, di ba? Eh tayo nga, bago dumating sa puntong mahalin ko ang sarili ko, ang dami na nating pinagdaanan, di ba? Before we even say na, I think I should start loving myself, you know, blah, 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 because we're, you know, a lot of us are born to please the world. But I think ang i-advise ko sa kanila, no, sa lahat ng mga nakikinig ngayong mga kabataan, know your priorities. At ang priority ng isang bata ay mag-aral, makapag-aral, di ba? And if you put education as number 1 in your list, siguro naman wag niyo munang isipin yung ano, di ba? sana wag niyo munang isipin yung loss ninyo o yung may need kayo or ano. It's easier said than done, Rory. Ang hirap mag-advise. But I would say look at studying, finishing your studies as your priority as a teenager. Get a life first.
Get a life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Oo.
Get a life.
Get a life.
And please, I advise you, look for a mentor. Look for a life coach. Look for somebody who will truly care about you. Look for a guide. Di ba sometimes kasi I want to empower you. Don't wait for, sometimes, you know, our parents may not have the wherewithal to guide us. They're also caught in their own web of problems, di ba?
Yes.
So I want to empower the youth. Look for a good mentor who will guide you. Have goals. Set goals. Di ba? Yung tanungin nyo lagi ang sarili nyo, where do I see myself 20 years from now? Have that dream, visualize it in your head, and then you will know your priorities. Then your priorities will follow, di ba? Therefore, I have to get a good education. Dapat makatapos ako, makapagtrabaho ako, makahanap ako, and dream of a solid family life. Yung parang learn, do not be a victim at sabihin mo na lang na, ganito na eh. Ganito na ang buhay. Wala naman talaga yung nanay ko o tatay ko. Di ba may tendency we blame the world. We point the finger at the world.
Yes.
Hey guys, to the young ones listening, you can take charge and you can define your future. Take charge of your life. Take charge of the dreams that you want to see in the future for yourself and for your family. Cut the cycle of dependence. Cut the cycle of, I'm a victim. Nakakaawa ako. Di ba?
Yes.
Be empowered. Believe in yourself. And that's where the loving oneself, I guess, will come in.
Yes.
And learn to say no.
Learn to say no.
Diba? Yun eh. Kasi baka hindi na niya ako mahalin pag hindi ko binigay, di ba?
Ay, nako.
Oo nga.
Wonderful advice. Sana
ang nakakaano pa niyan, alam mo yung stage na ganyan, teenage years, are vulnerable years eh. Kaya kailangan talaga ng parental supervision, adult supervision. And if you don't have it, look for it. Look for it. Diba? That's taking charge of your life.
Yes.
That's wonderful advice.
Very beautiful.
Nanonood at nakikinig.
Yes,
okay.
For my next question, Ms. Charo, how do you live your fullest life? Since, you know, marami na po kayong experience sa buhay and you've done a lot of things from the entertainment industry. So my question is, how do you live your fullest life? Your advice to the younger ones and to the professionals or adults who are just exploring their life.
25 lang kasi si Pam eh. Question niya talaga yan eh. It's really her question. Sabi, I wanna ask Miss Charo how to live.
How do you
live your fullest life? Yes.
Your fullest life. Okay. of course, you set your goals, no? You set your goals. But alam mo, minsan hindi mo, the best laid out plans may not come true. You know, I mean, the universe sends a ball from left field and it surprises you. But my attitude has always been, I find joy in everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
Finding joy in everything that you do.
That's nice, yeah.
Actually, there are little things, there are big things. But even in the most little things, you find joy in everything that you do. The passion is there. Then you will discover who is Pam. What am I? Yeah, di ba? At kung hindi ka kasi ako nagde-detour din ako Parang ito bang gusto kong puntahan, ito bang gusto kong puntahan. Yung college course ko lang From mass communications, I went to nursing and then went back to mass communications. See?
Wow.
So,
magkaiba.
it's not a perfect life because you're unsure Bata ka pa unsure ka pa But even in my nursing years, I found joy in everything that I was doing. And guess what? I've been taking care of my husband for the past 25 years. And you know, one day sabi ko, so this is why I had a detour in nursing.
To prepare
so there's
you.
really a reason. There are no accidents. You think na, ay, pinuntahan ko to, ay, parang nasayang lang naman yata yung oras ko, na-delay lang ito, na ganun. No.
Wow. Thank you for that advice, Ma'am.
Is because it's part of your narrative. Everything that you do will be part of your narrative to become a better evolved Pam.
Okay.
Wow, that's
Better
very
evolved
You needed to hear that.
I needed to hear that.
Minsan akala mo naliligaw ka, akala mo
Yan nga po
naliligaw ka. Your soul has to continually search for it. Your soul has to continually search for that joy.
Wow.
Diba?
Yes,
Very
true.
nice.
True.
So whether big or small, it doesn't matter. You are fulfilled. There's contentment in your heart. That's how I define fulfillment. That's how I define living fully.
Yes. Actually,
Wow,
to make a comment lang dyan, Miss Charo, actually one of the things that I also talk to people about is their path to fulfillment. It's nice that you talked about it. Because some people, they strive for success, right? And then some, they strive for fulfillment. When they achieve the success, they now look for fulfillment. So that's nice that you shared that. Thank you so much.
Leslie, I think success is the byproduct of your passion, your joy, your setting goals, your hard work. I think, di ba, success is a byproduct of all of the above. Hindi pa, you don't go through life thinking of I want to be a success. I want to be a successful. Hindi yung success after the fact.
Yes.
Ang nagda-drive talaga yung traits, yung character traits ng tao.
Thank you so much for that.
The universe, I don't know, some people call it luck.
Luck.
So I think one has to have a very positive attitude and so that you invite positive vibes into your life. And even when the rough waters come along, even if you're facing huge waves, and you have to keep the positive spirit alive and be accepting of what is.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Choose your battle. Sometimes there's no point in fighting the windmills. No point. Just sometimes you just have to keep still and look at the lessons and move on.
Yes, true.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, parang it seems so easy for me to say these words, to share these insights, but I've kind of been through it. So I know how it feels. I've been through ups and downs in life, and that's how I handled those ups and downs. And so I'm able to share it really from a very personal perspective.
Yes.
Hindi siya madali. Hindi siya
Yes.
madali. It was
Nothing comes easy.
it was a very, very painful journey for me.
Those
Wow.
are very wise words. Thank you so much for that, Miss Charo. Sabi nga nila, the more detached you are and the more you realize that some things are really beyond your control, then the less suffering, right? Kasi the more parang mas gusto i-control, mas mahirap, mas nagsasuffer yung tao. So thank you so much for that. Yeah.
I want to ask you, no?
Mhm.
Kasi you're a master healer na.
Hindi pa naman master healer.
Di ba at a certain point, you stop asking why.
Yes. Yes.
You really have to stop asking why. Why is this happening?
Yes. Actually, things just, I guess it just unfolds. There's always, I think instead of asking why, for me, what I do is I ask, what is the lesson here? So that's what I ask. You change the why into a what.
Yes.
What is the lesson?
Yes.
So that's personally, that's what I do. So maybe some of the listeners here can also apply that. Instead of asking why, di ba, minsan may victim mentality tayo, di ba? Bakit sa akin nangyari to? Ganyan. Pero, what is the lesson? Yun ang tanong natin. What is the lesson?
As human beings, I also advise everyone to honor your feelings, to honor your honor your pain.
Yes.
Kasi tao tayo eh.
Yes, yes.
Kailangan tayo umiyak naman tayo.
Valid yung emosyon natin.
Oo, valid naman.
Nasasaktan tayo sa let's also not put up a brave front and say everything's alright, diba? So that's also hindi din totoo yun eh. Hindi rin tayo magiging authentic doon. We also have to honor our feelings. We also have to grieve over a loss. We also have to feel angry about injustice and feel sad over unfortunate events in your life. Honor those feelings. But I don't think it's wise. It's wise or pragmatic for us to stay there, to dwell on those feelings, diba?
So moving forward.
Very nice.
So always moving forward. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Question ni Pam.
Yeah. So yung sunod na question ko po, ano pong ma-advise nyo sa mga listeners natin or kahit kanino
nanonood sa FB Live?
Yes, na what during this, COVID times or this trying times or failing times, what can you advise to everyone, Miss Charo?
Life goes on. We have to adjust. Life doesn't stop. The universe sends something from left field that it disrupts the world. It disrupts the entire humanity. But do we become catatonic and freeze? No, we cannot. Life goes on. We continue to breathe and we continue to adjust. It teaches us patience and resilience and perseverance, and it teaches us to keep still. I think
still.
Yeah. I think that's the most important lesson in any disruption, because sometimes we can get so busy and distracted by success, by worldly stuff, by just getting ahead of the race all the time, and sometimes the universe says, hey, time to chill. time to be still and introspect and look at your inner being and see what are the things that truly matter in life.
Wow.
Very nice.
Wow. Be still. Be still.
Learn to adjust. Go on with life. You cannot stop. You cannot stop. Be creative. See how you can reinvent the way you do things. See you want to go for discover your other interests. Study some more. Ang dami. Ang daming magagawa.
Actually, ngayon nga akong pandemic, maraming naging chef, naging baker, naging ang
Naging
daming lumabas
plantita.
talents.
Diba?
Ang dami.
But I don't think
Oh,
it's just
yes.
about survival. Diba? This is not just about survival. You're discovering you're discovering yourself eh. This is not just about survival. Parang, ay, pala akong galing dito. Ay, meron pala. Very affirming. Very, very affirming. You go into very affirming activities. Activities that you have taken for granted because sometimes we define success with only one path. Only one path. Diba? That's how the world defines success. Kailangan top ano ka ng ganito. Kailangan ganito ka. Blah, 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 blah. Diba? Eh,
True.
hindi naman. Hindi naman. Kaya sabi ko, find joy in everything that you do.
Yes.
I love that. Find joy in everything. Beautiful line.
I guess as time goes by, Miss Charo, would you think na success can the meaning of success changes in different times of your life? Kasi sometimes pagka marami ka ng pinagdaanan, yung success mo parang success is having good relationship with your family. Parang nag-iiba-iba yung meaning ng success
Yeah.
in different areas, in different times of your life.
Yes, Leslie, I agree.
Wow.
Okay.
And in connection to Leslie's statement, Miss Charo, sinabi mo nga po marami ka ng pinagdaanan. You've been there, you've done everything from studying, naging artista, your corporate life, and taking care of your husband, and discovering things on your own. What would you tell your younger self at this point in your life? If you think of your 25-year-old self, ano po kayo yung mabibigay yung advice or tip para sa kanya?
Oh, there's one area that I want to go back to. If there's one area of my life I want to go back to, my mother. I would tell Charo na, parang I would tell the younger Charo, relish your motherhood. I mean, savor your mother. I guess the circumstances in my life is I married into a blended home right away. And then I was working. So parang kung ibabalik ko, although ganun yun, I accept it. No, there are no regrets. No, it's not like I want to redefine the past.
Yeah.
Pero kung yun ang babalikan, kung may babalikan ako, parang siguro mas sana na-relish ko pa yung motherhood ko. When my boys were young and yung more time with them.
Ilan po yung anak nyo, ma'am?
Ha?
Ilan po anak nyo?
I have 2 boys.
Wow.
I have 2 boys.
Oh, true.
Pero part of my career in ABS when they were growing up and so, when ABS started in 1986, 87, ABS was number 5 out of 5. And so, talagang kailangan ng trabaho, ang time namin.
Kayo talaga.
With very little resources, So, I really worked so hard.
Wow.
So, meron po kayong...
Kita naman po, mami.
Meron kayong 2 boys with your husband. Pero meron pong captain dyan sa likod nyo. Kitang-kita ko po si Captain Ree. Ay! Kanina ko pa po gustong itanong kasi fan din po ako ng Chloe at nakita ko po yung mga posts
Crash landing
sa
on you.
Instagram.
Nasa likod ko siya, di ba?
So, hindi pa kayo makaka-move on.
Nasa harap ko din siya. Nasa harap ko rin siya. Habang kausap ko kayo.
So, ma'am, excited ka ba sa
Hindi ako nagpapatalo sa ang kalendaryo ko.
I'm sorry.
Yan ang kalendaryo ko.
Wow.
Kabog lahat ng friends ko.
Rory, panoorin mo na yung Chloe.
Pati apo ko yung echo
Oh.
ko. I'm really such a fan. I'm a fan. No,
Wow.
but bata pa ako, talagang sinusundan ko na yung mga idolo ko. And ngayon, yung idolo ko si Yun Bin because I really fell in love not only with his character in Crash Landing, but on his persona. His Yun Bin's persona. I found him to be very, very elegant, mysterious, manly, so
Classy.
manly. Yung, alam mo, yung parang, ay, nako, he brings out the Aphrodite in me.
Napaka-elegante kasi ni H.
I guess he brings out the Aphrodite in every woman.
Wow. Mapanood
Charo.
nga yan. Naintriga ako.
Oo, huling-huli ka na, Les.
Leslie, hindi ko
Huli
ba
ka na.
napapanood?
Nakakilig
Charo.
yan.
Hindi pa.
Ano, yung
Panoorin mo.
ang gusto ko
Bagay na bagay, Minty, swak na swak. Yung parang perfect fit, yung persona niya to Captain Ree's character.
Exactly.
That's what we call perfect casting.
As an executive po sa entertainment industry, ano sa palagay nyo yung meron sa K-drama na talaga namang kumurot sa ating mga puso at kumiliti sa ating mga damdamin na para ma-addict ang mga titas at lahat na ng age group, no? They have their own genre, they have their own batches.
Mapabata.
Diba? May mas bata. Ano kaya ang meron sa K-drama? Bakit tayo na-addict?
Bakit na-addict? Kasi yung malalim yung characterization nila eh. Whether it's romance, it's a thriller, it's a crime story, they have an appreciation of archetypes. Oo, hindi lang siya nagde-deliver ng surface relief eh. They write so well. I mean, the human insight there. I mean, the lines are beautifully written, di ba? And then, malalim ang pagtingin nila sa psyche ng character kahit na love story nga lang eh. Di ba? Yung klarong-klaro ang characters, their characterization is so deep. And then, of course, there's a visual language. I guess they have the resources at the time, and then therefore their visuals are telling a story. So it's not just a coverage of a sequence or a scene. Their shots tell a story.
Pati ulan uma-acting, ma'am.
That's then,
Diba? Pati raindrops uma-acting.
oo. Tapos yung milieu, di ba? The milieu has character. The milieu is part of the narrative. So it's not just a location. It's not just any location. There's a story. The location is, there's a story to the milieu and the location.
Kayong culture nila, ma'am, no? Sobrang proud sila.
So, ang mga walang pores.
Kutis!
Yes. Ganda ng kutis.
Ang gaganda ng kutis. The lighting, kita mo naman ng mga behind the scenes. They have the time.
Yeah.
See how they do the lighting,
Yeah.
the close-ups, just ko ang mga gobong maatikabo. Ay, may oras yan. Ibig sabihin may oras,
Correct.
merong resources, lahat ng technical requirements na ibibigay. So you need all those elements to come out with great material, with good output.
Actually, napansin ko rin, hindi lang yung K-drama eh. Pati yung, ano ba yun, yung BTS pa yun? Di ba may mga...
K-pop idols.
K-pop. Sikat na sikat din.
Yeah.
BTS ka rin, ma'am?
Yes.
Oh.
Oo. BTS, may mga dolls nga ako dito.
Bago niyong katropa si Vice. Bago niya lang na-discover yung BTS eh.
Oo. Naku, Diyos ko. Anong tawag sa Ilocano? Utog. Utog?
What
Cute.
utog?
Diba? Cute.
Cute. Okay.
Talagang si ma'am nagtuturo
that's
sa atin
nice.
ng Ilocano, di ba?
Kaya nga eh.
Pero tingnan mo, even the BTS, di ba? Even the BTS, they came out with their Map of the Soul.
Yes,
OST.
yes, their album. That's really good.
You see?
Yes.
You see how deep they go?
Yes, they're deep, they're really deep, Miss Charo.
That's
Wow.
what I mean.
May napakinggan akong isang song nila. Maganda rin yung lyrics eh. Maganda yung meaning. May
Yes.
meaningful yung nila, song nila. So, that's nice.
Siguro, masasabi ko, hindi sila takot tumingin sa loob.
That's
Be
nice. Wow.
vulnerable, no?
Hindi
Very
sila
vulnerable
takot.
yung mga characters and the words.
I guess because, you know, I learned from a presentation that the suicide rate in Korea is quite high. No? In fact, it is one of the major causes of early deaths there in Korea. And therefore, you know, if that's the culture you come from, there's parang mapipilitan ka sigurong tumingin sa loob eh. You need that inner strength, diba? You need that inner strength. At hindi, because of, yun na nga, yung nangyayari yan, ng mga suicide, hindi na sila natatakot. And they want to be able to talk about how do you deal with sadness? How do you deal with depression? How do you deal with loneliness? How do you deal with success, with overnight success? You can get lost, diba? So, nadideepen ngayon yung insights about life.
Yes. Wow.
And if you don't succeed with all the hard work, how do you deal with that, diba? Bakit yung mga kasabayan mo, ano
Yes.
na sila, tapos ikaw, nandito ka pa rin, ang hirap.
So parang I think there is awareness in Korean society that they have to send out that message to the youth. And the one of the strongest tools in sending out that message of mental health and having that positive attitude, coping with pain and failure, is through entertainment, through media, diba? Oh, when you have your idols and you have your idol talking about one's self-worth, of one's self-esteem, that I did not get here overnight. I had to work hard, and I you know, I'm not perfect, diba? You need role models to do that. And deliver that message. So, you know, siguro ito yung like itong effort na ginagawa ninyo, maganda ito kasi napapadala ninyo ang positive messaging sa mga nakikinig sa inyo sa FB.
So it's a big responsibility then when you're in front of a lot of people kasi people will listen to you, especially if you're very influential, right?
Yes.
So it's very important you have a good message to say, to impart. Like right now, we learned so much from this just half an hour probably of talking to you, Ms. Charo. We already received so much wisdom and insights. You talked about knowing yourself. You talked about loving yourself. You talked about ang dami, taking charge of your life. You talked about yung mga Korean, hindi ko sila kilala. Even with the Korean telenovela, you have a deep perspective on that. So with your many years of experience in life, we were able to gain so much insight and learnings from your life wisdom. So thank you so much for sharing all of those. And any other questions? Pam, meron ko pa bang gusto itanong kay Ms. Charo? This is your chance. Sa ating youngster, Pam, meron pa ba? Habang nandito si Ms. Charo.
Samantalahin mo na. Nakamute ka.
Pam.
Ayan, hello. Ayan.
Yes,
So,
Pam.
Ayan.
medyo nasagot naman po ni Ma'am Charo kanina about passion. Kasi, syempre ako, I have a lot of fire in me kasi bata pa. So, parang inisip ko, are there passion ba or is it just one passion only or in every point of your life, do you have to be paiba-iba ng passion? Okay lang po ba yun, ma'am?
What do you mean paiba-iba from?
I mean, for example, I'm passionate to gardening and then after the next few years, parang may iba naman akong gustong gawin sa buhay. Parang ganun po.
Baka adventure seeker ka.
Adventure
I think-
seeker. Oh, okay.
Parang,
I guess what she's asking is if passions change through life
Yeah, fashion.
as you go through life. Is that your question?
Yes.
is that your question, Pam? If passion change?
I mean, okay lang po ba na magbago ng mga
Your-
fashion?
Your interests, parang you can ganito. There's always something new to discover about ourselves.
Okay.
So you try. You wouldn't know if you don't try.
Correct.
And sometimes
Okay.
when we get into some new activity, doon mo malalaman kung yun ang para sa iyo o hindi. Hindi kita pipigilan. Di ba? In other words, hindi kita pigilan. Kung ano ang gusto mong ma-discover about yourself, dahil may dinidiscover ka. Hindi lang basta dahil, wala gusto ko lang, hindi naman yung parang wala lang.
It's not just wala.
Oo, hindi naman
You're
ganun.
looking for something higher value, but you can't just learn it by. You have to learn it by doing it or engaging into it. Parang ganun.
And then you will know. Ikaw rin ang makakapagsabi. Talagang ito, I'm into music, or I'm into gardening, or I really am a painter. Di ba?
Okay.
I am most fulfilled when I am painting and I am lost in my own world. You will discover that. So, dahil bata ka pa, ang advice ko sa mga bata is just go for it. You have the opportunity, you have the resources. Don't overanalyze. Huwag kayong masyadong mag-overanalyze and overthink na tama ba ito?
Medyo tinamaan po ako dyan, Ma'am Charo.
Ay, gano'n?
Medyo,
May
overthink
secret
po
ako ha. Yan po ang pinag-uusapan namin pag kami nag-hot springs. Doon namin siya talagang binobomba.
Ayun, nako, spot on pala yung nasabi. Don't overthink. Just go with the flow. Go with what your instincts are telling you. Go with what your intuition is telling you. Kasi yan ang pinaka-compass mo. Yan ang pinaka-compass mo. Kasi mahirap na, hindi, 1. Tapos after 1, I go to 2. After 2, I go to 3. Yung parating naghahanap ng process and structure. Hindi ko naman sinasabing dapat anything goes. Hindi naman gano'n. Like a balance. Find that balance. I think in life, that's the lesson that we all want to learn is finding that balance. So even in dreaming, in following your passions, find that balance of how will I earn a living?
Yan din ang naging topic last time ng radio show natin.
Ma'am, parang si Pam ang letter writer natin. Ano po ang magiging title ng episode na ito? Pam ang ating sumulat.
Kasi it's one dream. It's one thing to be a dreamer. It's another thing to say, how can I live with the realities of life? Diba? So find that balance. You have a pragmatic self and you have a dreamer. How do you find that balance? Find that harmony. You will.
Wow.
You will.
Wow.
Oo. Hindi naman pwedeng nananaginip lang tayo all the time at walang direksyon. Hindi pwede yun.
At walang ginagawa.
Oo, dapat empowered tayo. Dapat
Yes,
independent
that's
tayo. Dapat hindi tayo pabigat sa mga magulang natin at sa sosyedad.
That's nice. That's nice. So nadagdagan pa ang words of wisdom ni Miss Charo. Aside from everything she said earlier, find that balance. Pam, makinig ka kay Miss Charo.
Yes,
Find that balance.
nililista ko yun, ha? Nililista ko po yun, Ma'am.
Na-record ko, Pam, ha?
From an expert, don't think too much. Find that balance.
Opo, ma-overthink
nga
po
din,
ako kasi, Ma'am, eh.
and katulad din nung sabi ni Miss Charo kanina, she always sees the uniqueness in people. That's a beautiful statement. Always see the beauty in a person, the uniqueness, everyone is special. Diba? We are special in our own way. And again, love yourself, get to know yourself, be compassionate, be sensitive to other people's needs, and learn whatever you need to learn. Everything happens for a reason. Ang dami, di ba? Ang dami nating learnings. Ang dami nating learnings sa episode na to. Ano pa bang masasabi natin? Ms. Charo, any last few words you want to share our listeners and our viewers sa FB Live?
Always find joy in your present.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Hindi ko masabi yan. Tama.
Find joy.
Sinabi niyo rin yan kayo na that's very important. Always find joy.
Yun lang ang importante. Hindi naman natin ma-predict yung bukas.
Yes.
Yung nakaraan naman, tapos na yun.
Yes.
So ito ang
Mhm.
realidad natin, no? Ngayon, as we're talking, di ba? This is our reality. This is our present. And I hope we're all finding joy in this conversation. You know what I mean? Yun, di ba? This is our present, the 5 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Ito yan.
And six!
Ito po yung pinilang niyo po talaga, mama.
Captain, nasa likod.
Ito yan.
May anim tayo. Meron pang nandun sa likod. May nasa likod, anim.
Savor it. You relish it. You savor it. Kasi ito yun eh. Ito yun. See? Oh, so sa lahat ng ginagawa ninyo, find joy in your present. Dahil
Live in the
natin
moment.
hawak ang bukas at yung nakaraan naman ay hindi na binabalik-balikan kundi titingin lang sa ating lessons.
Wow. That's
Wow.
beautiful. Sabi nga nila, live in the moment. So, living in the moment and always moving forward. That's
Yes.
very nice,
Thank
Ms.
you so
Charo.
much. Thank you so much for inviting me, Rory. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CSC.
The opportunity to have this conversation with you. Thank you that I had the chance to meet new friends, Leslie
Wow.
and
Minty.
Minty. Yan. O Minty. Oo, basta na-meet I'm sure cruise na ang ating landas in the past.
Okay. And CSC, may I just say, in our time that we work together, and I think that would be for the whole ABS, we always looked forward, always, to spending time with you, because we always knew, whether party or in your office, that we would leave your presence with so much wisdom. And I'm 58, I'm done with the entertainment life, and it's still the same. I'm really so grateful. I keep learning, and I was really looking forward also to this, because I knew that I would learn new things. And when you were talking earlier about finding a mentor, talagang when you were saying that, I was really sabi, I was so blessed, and I'm very grateful, because I was one of the fortunate ones who went under your wing. So for all those years,
Wow.
no, really, serious. Ilan lang kasi kami eh. So yung talang handheld di ba? Adong lumaking ABS, nandun pa rin siya, pero yung handheld, kami talaga niya. So I'm so grateful for that, and I will always be grateful for that. And the kind of life I have now, and the person who I am now, I there's a big chunk. Thank you so much. I really owe you a lot. Babawi ako sa next lifetime, but really, thank you so much for all the wisdom, for all the guidance, not just professionally, but personally, for all the guidance, really. To have gone under your wing is one of the great blessings that I'm always grateful for.
Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you.
You have been a blessing to me as well, just like a lot of the other students in
Yeah.
the journey of life that I have.
The whole ABS was under your wing. Yeah.
Ay, nako.
And I'm sure you did a lot of good things for so many people and touched many lives. That's why now the blessings are still pouring in
Yeah.
in different ways and from different sources.
Ito nga,
So,
if I may share, na nakakatawa because sometimes an artista would approach me or somebody from production or from any other division of ABS, no? Tapos sabihin, naku, Ma'am Charo, alam mo ba nung time na ganito? Tapos sinabi mo to, wala akong naaalala. Ha? Sabi ko ba yun? Or oo ma'am, hindi ko malilimutan ng ganito. Na, tapos sinabi mo to, hindi ko, but I guess, they are the ones who remember.
Because
Yes.
that's
It helps
how
so many.
special you made them feel, ma'am. So yun
And-
yung tatandaan nila at itatago nila sa kanilang puso't damdamin.
And I think siguro kasi kaya ganun din, it's very innate in you
Yeah.
na it comes out naturally. That's why it's more authentic. Kasi natural na lang, hindi nyo na nga naalala na sinabi nyo yun.
Wala ako
Kasi
naalala.
natural na.
One
natural
day,
na.
I told Rory, one day I want to join the healing group. You know, I want to,
Oh, wow.
to learn to become a healer. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, you're with a
And on
group
that
of
note,
healers.
nawala si Rory.
On that note, nag-disappear. Ano nangyari?
Nice
Ma'am,
to
salamat
meet you.
po.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
God
So,
bless.
God bless you as soon as possible.
Yeah.
we really,
Sabi
really
ni Miss
appreciate your
Everything.
time. We know you're so very busy, but you made time for us. So we really appreciate
I
so
hope
much.
I hope to be able to do your life story, Leslie, in MMK, or you mean,
Oh,
what do you think?
Oh.
sure. Why not?
Sige po.
Sige
What
ho.
do you think? Do you have a story that you think? Do you have a narrative that you think will inspire, empower, teach our audience, diba?
Opo.
Yes, actually,
Sige po,
it's
gagawa
actually
kami.
interesting you mentioned this, Miss Charo. The other day, I got interviewed on. Tapos na yung interview natin, no? So, makakat na ba to? Okay. So, the other day, I had an interview on Spotify,
Okay.
on a podcast. They asked me about my life story, how I
Healing.
transitioned from my life before to living on top of a mountain. Because 180-degree turn lifestyle change. So that's my story from a very, the typical busy, active life to living on the mountain, pursuing self-mastery and sharing it with people. So that's basically the gist of it.
Oh,
So that's what I shared.
Rory, sinasabi ko kay Leslie, baka gusto natin gawin yung life story niya sa MMK.
Oh.
Pwede. Dito. Based dito. Ang ganda ng Cervantes CSC. It's so
Yes.
cinematic.
Ang ganda
It's so
ng
beautiful.
mga...
Everywhere I go, I say, my God, what a great location.
Rory,
Really.
mag-isip ka na ng kwento
It's a-
dyan. Sa
Oh, nga, it's such a beautiful...
Ako yung
it's
assistant
such a-
director niya.
Tinatrabaho na namin actually, Miss Charo. Meron na
It's
kami
such-
mga plano.
It's such a beautiful location for a love story. It's so beautiful. Really.
Talaga. Maybe I should
Yeah,
schedule
it's so
a trip
beautiful.
mo to Cervantes.
Yes.
Ang ganda.
Actually, Miss Charo, meron nga, yung, kunyari, bahay
Ma'am, yan ang
lang
aming
na
view.
nasa bundok.
Ito,
Parang
Miss
mukha
Charo.
siyang fake sa sobrang
That's our
ganda.
view.
Pero maganda dahil authentic.
Definitely.
Ayan ang view. Ayan ang view.
Ayun
Wow.
po.
Yung parang simpleng
Labasan.
bahay na gawa lang sa kahoy.
Yeah.
Pero ang authentic niya, ang vibrant ng colors, tas merong manok, merong baboy,
Musta
merong
Ba tayo
kung ano.
gumawa ng sarili nating crash landing dyan sa Cervantes?
Pwede.
It's really cinematically beautiful, and I'm always
Ang
thinking. I was
ganda.
telling Malunga sabi ko it's a beautiful location to make a film.
Paano ba pumunta dyan?
Oh, medyo
Ah.
malayo lang. It's 5 hours,
Car.
and then there's a 2.5 hour zigzag going up.
Actually, it's only 1.5 kung
Sanay na mag-drive.
dire-diretso lang. Oo. Kung
Pero-
sanay na yung mag-drive,
Oo.
1.5 yung paakyat.
Oh, sige. So let's end na because I think CSC is busy.
Tanungin natin yan.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you po.
So
Okay.
so
Yes.
CSC, thank you so much for your time.
Maraming salamat.
And we're very grateful for all your words of wisdom. And I'm sure all the listeners are too, and all the audience in FB Live. So thank you for giving us this opportunity. And
Thank
we wish
you.
you well, blessings, and namaskar.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Miss Charo.
Thank you.